Welcome back to the Queen News Channel, where we bring you the latest news on Meghan and Harry's high-profile divorce. Meghan, an American, and Harry, a British citizen, entered into an international marriage that was legally recognized in both the UK and the US. This means they have multiple options for filing their divorce, including the country where they were married, their current country of residence, or based on their citizenship. If Harry chooses to file for divorce in the UK, there are no legal obstacles preventing him from doing so. If Meghan objects, the courts would have the authority to decide. Similarly, if Meghan decides to file in California, Harry could raise objections. Disputes over jurisdiction can be lengthy and expensive, potentially costing millions, depending on who initiates the divorce and the support they receive. Currently, Meghan holds the title of Duchess of Sussex. However, in the event of a divorce, she would likely assume the courtesy title of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, similar to how other divorced members of the royal family, such as the Duchess of York and the Princess of Wales, adjusted their titles. The HRH, Her Royal Highness, styling she possesses would be revoked upon divorce, as decreed by Queen Elizabeth II in letters patent. It is likely that Meghan, as a widow, would be allowed to retain her title. The Queen's decision to strip royal styling from her daughters-in-law in the past was not intended to punish them for their spouse's death. However, this is merely speculation, as the situation is not clear-cut. While Wikipedia refers to Meghan as a divorcee, Burke's peerage is considered a more definitive reference for British royalty and nobility. If Harry were to pass away, Meghan would become the Dowager Duchess of Sussex, but she would generally be referred to as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Therefore, the title change would not be significant in such a scenario. If Harry were to pass away, their son Archie would immediately become the Duke of Sussex, and his future wife would assume the title of Duchess of Sussex, regardless of whether they were divorced or widowed. However, upon remarriage, it is customary for the courtesy title to be relinquished. There is a possibility that both Meghan and Harry could lose their Sussex titles. Meghan's last name should be Mountbatten-Windsor, and Harry should be referred to as Prince Harry Mountbatten-Windsor. It is important to note that neither of them currently represents or works for the royal family. They reside in the US, where royal titles hold no recognition. While the wife of a peer is not legally obligated to give up her title after divorce and remarriage to a commoner, it is accepted as customary practice. There is a historical case where an ex-wife of a peer continued to use her title despite objections, and the court upheld her right to do so. If Meghan insists on using her royal title after the divorce, the royal family may find reasons to intervene. The custody of the children, being a surviving parent, would likely be automatically granted to Meghan, unless concerns arise regarding her parenting or delegation of parental responsibility. Child custody, regardless of royal status, is subject to safeguarding regulations, and if necessary, the court could step in. The royal family does not possess inherent custodianship rights, and their limited familiarity with the children would not work in their favor. The 1717 opinion by George I, known as the Prerogative Concerning the Royal Family, is often overquoted and holds little relevance in the present day. Its purpose was to control the choice of godparents for his future grandson and does not override legislation like the Children Act of 1989. Care and legal custody should not be confused. In the U.S., particularly in California with its no-fault divorce and asset division laws, Harry is in a disadvantageous position due to his substantial assets. The validity of a UK prenuptial agreement might not be recognized in California or other parts of the U.S. Harry's decision-making regarding his marriage has seemingly backfired. In many ways, Harry and Meghan share similar characteristics, with both being perceived as narcissistic. The royal family, including Prince Charles, holds animosity towards Meghan for her perceived negative influence on Harry, transforming him into someone unrecognizable to those who knew him. Charles, too, is likely a narcissist who seeks validation and admiration. Due to their international marriage, Meghan and Harry have more legal options than couples with non-international marriages. They must carefully consider which jurisdiction would benefit them individually. It is worth noting that residency and domicile are distinct concepts, and unless Harry has intentionally changed his domicile, he remains domiciled by origin. Harry's occupation is still officially Prince of the United Kingdom, while Meghan retains her title as Princess of the United Kingdom. However, it is crucial to assess their actions rather than their statements. Their recent claims about their children's birthright as Prince and Princess of the United Kingdom may not hold much weight. It appears that the UK has jurisdiction over the Sussex divorce, and if California is the chosen forum, Meghan could face outcomes similar to Kelly Rutherford's case. While they have various options, their residence and the children's domicile are in California, which increases the likelihood of any legal action being handled there. Please share your thoughts on their marriage in the comments section below. Let's discuss the challenges faced by the Sussex Empire and whether Meghan and Harry themselves may be responsible for its shortcomings. Is it possible that they are ignoring the feedback from people who believe they have failed to meet market demands? Can they truly believe that jealousy is the reason companies have chosen not to associate with them? In reality, business decisions are not driven by jealousy but by the marketability of goods or services. Companies require reliable products, quick turnaround times, and the potential for profit. If a product or service fails to meet these criteria, it is unlikely to succeed. Meghan and Harry's attempts to create a profitable empire have not been successful, and blaming others' jealousy for their failures is a way to deflect responsibility. Accepting failure is challenging for anyone, but for individuals like Meghan and Harry, it seems almost impossible. If people don't buy into their explanation of jealousy, they will search for alternative causes rather than accepting blame. Some company representatives were initially enticed by the royal couple's fame and sold the idea of their profitability. However, these representatives are now disappointed and warning others about their negative experiences. This is not due to jealousy, it's simply an attempt to alert others to potential risks. Such warnings can severely impact Meghan and Harry's empire. There is one crucial difference to consider. It is not related to Doria traveling with Meghan or the change from Sunshine Sachs. The key difference lies in the fact that Meghan and Harry kept their marketing team for website development and deals, which ultimately did not yield successful results. Their attempts at public speaking engagements were also limited, as Harry's network and introductions were scarce. Corruption was not readily available to them. Public speaking engagements often involve politicians receiving kickbacks for their services or introductions to high-profile individuals. Comparatively, Meghan and Harry's income-generating efforts did not pan out. Their income stream was unreliable, as seen with the Netflix deal, which was merely a development deal rather than a substantial payout. The same applies to their Oprah interview and the Netflix docuseries, where they received producer fees but not substantial payment. Harry's book deal also involves an advance structure, potentially requiring him to repay a portion of the advance. Their income from Spotify may have been around $10 million, but the numbers don't add up to support their lavish lifestyle. Their empire's outgoings, including PR, security services, legal expenses, private jets, and staff, total around $27 to $30 million annually. Adding taxes and other expenses brings the required income to approximately $40 to $45 million per year. The current numbers are not aligning with their income. The outstanding debts to the Elephant Charity and the UK Charity demonstrate their financial issues. Meghan and Harry's refusal to accept responsibility for their failures and their constant blame shifting is detrimental to their public image. Their victimhood stories, whining, arrogance, and greed have turned the public against them. They are unwilling to self-reflect or accept that they might be at fault. Their sense of superiority and belief that the world is jealous of them hinder their ability to recognize their own shortcomings. Their biggest problem lies in their inability to accept blame for their actions. They perceive themselves as superior but fail to understand that their behavior turns people away. Their empire is crumbling due to their lack of personal attributes required to achieve their goals. Meghan's philanthropic aspirations remain unfulfilled, as she has made little effort to back up her claims. Eventually, the public will see through their empty facade.